Viral Massara again. The goddess is set. It's the Lady Bastet segment. Our ones that's here. It's going to burn everything up. You can see the UFOs giving them assistance like that. That's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna have to all wake up and get tuned in for the truth that the Buddha, which is me, was sent to the earth to tell everyone.
Now these are women, right? 3 of these women, they came in here and they jumped on this girl. All right. Now see, they're all black, even though they have all these different complexions to their face. They're all black women. And then this is what the goddesses of this planet has been reduced to because you want to worship Jesus. All right. The reason why I say they're all black is because that's what they're acting like. You very rarely, you won't see white girls doing this type of shit, okay? You don't see that. It's only our black women that love Jesus and fake hair that has lost knowledge of self so much that they would do this type of shit to each other. We come from a world where these women would have never did this to each other. They respected each other so much and knew themselves to be goddesses. But look how they've changed from that because they have crack and beer and cigarettes and a false god that doesn't teach them that there's something wrong with this. Now, because we come from a society from the Romans that had a Roman Colosseum where they had people fight to the death and everything, this is the type of women that us men can look forward to raising our children, okay? All right, this is, look, smoking cigarettes, okay, all the shit that I tell you about. Now look at her, brazen as hell, really not afraid of shit. Look at this. Because she's got 5 friends with her, see? So that'll make her have the confidence to do that. It's like a gang of men in trucks with M16s going into a village of men that's farming and not being afraid. Of course you're not afraid, Mr. Badass. You got all those guns. But these are the women that we gonna have to get married to. This is the type of circumstances on our earth. This is how our women act. Because they've been told that they're not shit, you know. And this is the people that birth these little babies that you see. That's her daughter that has to see this shit. This little girl has to see her mother take a beat down like that when she's 2 or 3 years old. And now look at her. It's like, lady, you done got your ass whooped. You need to chill out so the police could come and somebody can save you from them idiots that's trying to kill you. And I bet it's all behind some drugs or some guy. See? That's the proof that she's black, right there, that hair.
In the hand. This was at the 7-Eleven at 82nd and Powell. The mother of one victim told us the suspects were trying to beat up her son's girlfriend. So he stepped in, and that's when he and his friend were shot. Both should be okay. A man in Vancouver alerts his neighbors when the apartment complex they all live in catches fire. This broke out around 1:30 this morning on East 16th Street. Kenneth Williams smelled the smoke and jumped into action.
I started slamming on the neighbor's door and started going down, yelling fire, fire, trying to get people out of their apartments.
My husband and I had just gotten to sleep, and all of a sudden we heard this banging at the door, and it kind of like, you know, shocked both of us. And so, you know, of course in this neighborhood you ask who it is, and it was Kenny was banging on the door and to us yelling fire, fire. So, you know, we grabbed our robes. He and his whole family, they saved all of us.
While Kenneth was waking his neighbors, police were rescuing an elderly woman by kicking down her door. Firefighters tell us she suffered burns over most of her body and had severe breathing problems. She was taken to Emmanuel Hospital. No word on her condition tonight or the cause of the fire. New at 5, the Dollar in New Orleans, wounding at least 17 people. Cell phone video shows the chaos right after the shooting. Police say no one suffered serious injuries, but a 10-year-old girl was among those grazed by a bullet. It's not clear what sparked the gunfire. No one's yet been arrested. This Mother's Day is the first.
17 people were injured, including a 10-year-old girl. Several shots were fired as dozens were marching in that parade. Police are searching tonight for 3 gunmen who fled the scene. Everyone is expected to survive. And in California tonight, heartbreak yet. The killer was right there in the home. Their 12-year-old son now charged. Here's ABC's John Schriffen.
Investigators in Northern California now believe they've solved the mysterious murder of 8-year-old Layla Fowler, last night arresting her 12-year-old brother, charging him with homicide.
Citizens of Calaveras County can sleep a little better tonight.
A little more than 2 weeks ago, this quiet community outside Sacramento was rocked when little Layla's brother told police he found her body, stabbed to death, after a man broke into their home.
You wouldn't expect something like this to happen to
Blue-eyed
The
serial
boy
killer.
telling police he had
Look at
to
the
hide
sign.
inside from the intruder.
Look at the sign
Residents
on the
were
car.
told to stay inside as police launched a massive manhunt. And the community rallied around the family. Layla's stepmother clearly emotional at this vigil.
I just want to thank the entire community and all of our family and friends for the overwhelming amount of support that you've given my family. It will never be forgotten. Thank you.
While weeks of searching
sad.
turned up nothing, police analyzed multiple knives found inside the
told you
home.
Spirit gonna make
Investigators are
people
not
do
saying
some
what
crazy
led them
shit.
to suspect the brother, but tonight, those charges have stunned this
Don't hate me
tight-knit
for just
community
telling you
and
what's
left
going
the
on.
family broken. John Schriffen, ABC News, New York.
John, thank you. Meantime, the grim standoff we told you about last night here has come to an end in one New Jersey community tonight. SWAT teams setting off a flash bomb to bring it to an end. They then stormed into that house to rescue the 3 children held hostage for more than 2 days. Their captor was shot and later died. While those 3 children are okay inside the home, police did recover the bodies of their mother and one of their siblings. We turn now to the extreme weather we reported on last night here. A major thaw sweeping across the country tonight. And as we showed you, that's not the only thing on the move. That giant block of ice crashing into a home. Well, tonight we learn it's happening elsewhere too. Here's ABC meteorologist Ginger Zita.
Tonight, unbelievable images after a tsunami-like wave of ice engulfed a lakeside community in Manitoba, Canada.
Hello, someone's trying to talk to you.
The ice came right through the living room here. He said, grab your purse, grab whatever you can, get the keys. We got to get out of here.
The terrifying wave
someone's
smashed
pissed off at
into
your
and
ass.
toppled 2-story homes.
I've been
More than
telling
a
you
dozen
guys,
destroyed.
the
I saw
elemental
the
forces
ice just
are here
coming,
to whoop that ass.
just moving so quickly.
It's called an ice heave, or sometimes an ice shove, and it happened in Minnesota this weekend too.
They're gonna call it everything but a SARS Army watch. But it's okay because see, I got plenty of this shit that can go on forever, and eventually you will all bow down. See, all these
Johnson
houses
hit
is
record
brought
as her
off
family
of
watched the
crime
wave of
money.
ice creep toward
These
their
people
home
that live in
on
these
Lake
houses now,
Mille Lacs
did
in
they do
Minnesota.
it? Probably not. It's the owners that did it. Okay, the corporations.
Look at it from above.
right,
You
that
can
build
see
all
the
these
imposing
extravagant
wave-like
places.
structure at some points
see,
3 feet deep.
they get to run
pushed
off and
right
live
into
so
their back
well.
door. The how
You
is
know what I'm
simple.
saying? While
It all
everybody else
happened
is going
because
through
the
so
ice on
much
the lake
chaos,
was melting. A
homelessness and
strong
everything.
northwest wind had
But the
taken that
universe
ice and
says
shoved it
it's
onto
tired of that
land.
bullshit.
And this isn't the first time this
See?
has happened. Look at this photo. Ice
It'll be
piled
water.
high on that same
The only
lake
reason it's
back in
ice now is
1996.
because it's so cold. Wait till it
Wow,
thaw
so
out,
they
it'll
dealt
be
with this
water.
before, and these warm temperatures on the way this week only going to make the spring thaw even worse.
The heat and, of course, the wind all coming back, and that's what got us in trouble in the first place. Let's look at the numbers. Pretty incredible here. They could see record-breaking heat, not only in North Platte, but in Minnesota, too. Look at Minneapolis to 91 degrees, Kansas City getting to 92 by Tuesday, David.
Wow, it's going to be hot, and I know you're on the way to the town with that ice, Ginger. We'll see you in the morning on GMA. In the meantime, we turn tonight to a others now frantic. Their homes could be next. What is happening underground? And then later here tonight, helplessly, as their homes sink into the earth, walls cracking, entire homes now condemned. What's happening underneath? Here's ABC's Akiko Fujita tonight.
The slow-motion disaster is threatening all 30 homes in this Northern California neighborhood. Small cracks just weeks ago, now gaping holes, the hillside collapsing. Jagtar Singh watched the ground pull his neighbor's home 10 feet below the street, and he's seen the cracks eat away at his house.
You can see there's no more bedrooms. No road at all.
Officials have suspended mail delivery to keep carriers out of danger. They've redirected sewage because manholes collapsed. At least half a dozen damaged homes have been tagged for removal, but the hillside is so unstable, crews can't get in.
My home could be their home in a matter of days, weeks. We don't know.
Lake County officials
do
say
know.
water has
It's
been
coming.
bubbling to the surface
Count
for
on it.
weeks, saturating the ground. They're scrambling
count
to
on
plug leaks within the underground water system, but don't know what's causing them. We've seen this before in Florida.
The bedroom floor just collapsed and my brother-in-law's in there. He's underneath the house.
A deadly sinkhole some 30 feet wide opened up under a bedroom, taking Jeff Bush with him as he slept in his bed. On Washington's Whidbey Island, this massive landslide wiped out an entire hillside. Landslides change with each day, moving a few inches on some days, several feet on others, unlike sinkholes which swallow homes in an instant. With the ground moving under his very feet, Singh has decided to pack up, leaving his first house behind for his family's safety. Akiko Fujita, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Wow, some anxious days ahead for that community. And when we come back here on the broadcast tonight, the Powerball soaring where it stands tonight. And look at this story. Stunned waiters about to hit the jackpot of a different kind. All of it is cameras roll, and you won't believe who's behind it.
It's simple physics. A body at rest tends to stay at rest, while a body in motion tends to stay in motion.
Now listen,
Staying active can actually
I wanted you
ease
guys to
arthritis
know
symptoms.
something.
But if you have
Okay?
arthritis, staying active.
All this stuff that's going on around the planet is not just happening because the planet is having a fart or something. It's because the planet is cunning and it lives. It is a vibrant, thinking, conniving entity that made you. So everything that's possible to be a part of your composition to make up, you got to understand the earth being just as qualified to be the same thing and even greater. Because all the manifestations of life that's on the planet came from the planet. And it's a unique arrangement with all the other things in the universe that it has an interaction with that decides who's going to be around and who's not. Okay, all this murder and stuff that's being committed on the planet by men against other men is nothing but criminal acts. I don't care how much religion you use to disguise what you did. It all boils down to the fact that we saw what you did and we're here to kill you. That's the bottom line. There's not going to be anything outside of the fact of your existence on this earth being completely terminated and eradicated. Understand that. That's the dynamics of it. So there's not going to be anything that you're able to do to change that. This woman with this afro right here is who the universe designed to be the goddess of this planet. And that's who's going to be the goddess of this planet. Understand that. There is not going to be no continuance of no white man perpetuating his ass around this planet as the source of divine energy through the usage of manipulation, rape, deprivation, thievery, lies, and false incarceration, wars, all that shit that has been happening already. I got over 700 billion tons of equipment to let you know your bullshit is coming to an end. I pointed the camera at this lady right here because I want you to know that you are responsible for murdering millions upon millions of these women. See the light coming on? I didn't do that. I can't do that. That is the universe made that light come on. I'm not doing that. See that? That is not me doing that. I swear. This trips me out how these electronics. I'm looking at this thing saying it doesn't have enough light. Now that's not the computer monitor. This camera is not plugged into the computer. It is just flashing like that itself, making that light come on to take. And I'm looking at the front of the camera and there is no light on the camera that's coming on. So that camera source is coming out of the universe, that light source. It's the same lights that follow me around. You don't have to believe it. This stuff is hard for me to believe. But I'm telling you, every day, these entities in this light shift show me you do not have to be afraid of those motherfuckers. You don't have to worry about anything. You tell them what I want you to tell them, and you tell them